Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Andrew is away tonight. Two Canadian politicians speaking out, alleging racism in Ottawa.
Often when people like me are elected, the rules of the game seem to change.
The leader of the Green Party says she is facing discrimination within her own party's leadership. And weeks before an expected election call, a young MP who's not running again bids a scathing farewell to the House of Commons.
I've had security jog after me down hallways, nearly put their hands on me, and racial profile me.
Also tonight, the skyrocketing cost of living. Inflation at its highest level in a decade.
It's hard for everybody. Really hard, man.
Is this the new normal? Plus, a magic moment for a rising Canadian tennis star.
And he won't forget this day.
How Felix beat Federer. This is The National. A moment tonight in Canadian politics. Two women of color who have both won groundbreaking victories, having their say in a way that cannot be ignored. In a few minutes, the damning farewell from a young Inuk MP. But we begin with the remarkable show of defiance from Green Party leader Annamie Paul. She stood her ground and then some against critics in her own party who want her gone. In a riveting press conference, Paul accused her detractors of using racist and sexist stereotypes to undermine her. But her fate is far from certain, and these party divisions have exploded into view just as an election may be looming. David Thurton shows us some powerful politics at work.
First Black person and first Jewish woman ever elected to lead a major federal party. It was never going to be a walk in the park.
Annamie Paul came out swinging after a faction within her party hatched a plan to unseat her.
A small group of councillors sought to force a vote of non-confidence.
The reasons laid out in this document obtained by CBC News. In a meeting, members of the party's federal council accused Paul of acting with an autocratic attitude of hostility, superiority, and rejection, and said she displayed anger in long, repetitive, aggressive monologues. Today, Paul wouldn't acknowledge the leaked letter, but said this.
They produced a list of allegations that were so racist, so sexist, that they were immediately disavowed by both of our MPs as offensive and inflammatory and contrary to party ethics.
According to a former MP, it's dripping with racist tropes.
The whole notion of angry Black woman is baked into this letter. That is so profoundly disappointing, and the personification of white supremacy written into a letter in black and white.
I am clearing a path for myself, but I am also clearing one for those who come after me.
But Quebec's Green Party leader says Paul is weaponizing identity politics.
So to go and say that the people who are contesting her leadership are racist or are doing it for racist reasons, and to lob everybody who has a disagreement with her into that basket, I think is completely inaccurate.
The turmoil is poorly timed with talk of an election this year. Last week, one of the party's 3 MPs defected to the Liberals. Fredericton MP Jenica Atwin said Paul's statement on violence between Israel and Hamas was inadequate. Then Paul's advisor Noah Zatzman responded, accusing Atwin of appalling anti-Semitism, vowing we will work to defeat you. Today on the floor crossing, Paul had this to say.
The Liberal Party of Canada has demonstrated that it is hell-bent on winning their majority at almost any cost. By their own admission in recent days, they have sought to sow division and to create disarray within the Green Party of Canada.
Now Paul faces an ultimatum from federal council. Publicly condemn the comments of her now former staffer or face a non-confidence vote. Paul did not do that today. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
I spoke with Annamie Paul about all that, what comes next, and what it all means for a looming election that is coming up in about 20 minutes. But first, the Inuk woman who is speaking out. She is the youngest MP Nunavut has ever sent to the House of Commons. Now so disillusioned by her experience, she says she won't run again in the next election. Olivia Stefanovic spoke with her in the wake of a shattering farewell speech.
It has been an honor serving my constituents.
These speeches are usually a chance for departing MPs to fondly reminisce about their time in the House of Commons.
The honourable member for Nunavut.
But New Democrat MP Mamila Kakak used her opportunity to deliver a scathing message.
I have never felt safe or protected in my position, especially within the House of Commons.
Kakak says entering the doors of power put her in survival mode, requiring moments to compose herself in the elevator or in the washroom.
I've had security jog after me down hallways, nearly put their hands on me, and racial profile me.
Kakak says she learned to keep her parliamentary badge close so she could quickly prove who she is.
People like me don't belong here in the federal institution. Even if we're told we should run, we still face huge barriers.
Parliamentary Security told CBC News it has invited Kakak to discuss the matter. Her party's leader is calling for institutional change.
We need to be very vigilant and continue to apply pressure on the House of Commons and Parliament to become a more welcoming space.
For someone to feel unsafe in what should be one of the most secure places in the country because of who she is and what her identity is entirely unacceptable.
Kakak leaves feeling disappointed by a lack of progress on the housing and suicide crises facing Inuit. She calls her choice very personal, and she's not ruling out a future run for the NDP.
I showed youth and Indigenous people that we can be in places, even if we don't feel that they're made for us.
And at age 27, she says there are many paths she's considering to continue her fight for change. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Senate has cleared legislation aimed at implementing the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. C-15 was passed by senators by a vote of 61 to 10. The legislation was introduced in December after a previous version died ahead of the 2019 election. Implementing the UN Declaration is one of the 94 calls to action in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The bill now needs royal assent before it becomes law. Let's turn now to the COVID-19 story this evening, and we start with some good news about the quickly rising number of fully vaccinated Canadians. Over the span of 3 months, the Canadian population protected by one dose has now reached about 65%. Recent progress on that front has been slower, but in late May, provinces started shortening the wait for those second doses, and since then, the percentage of fully vaccinated Canadians has roughly tripled. It's now nearly 15%. Of the 460,000 doses administered today across the country, about 80% were second doses. More people in Ontario this week can get their second shots, but as Ellen Morrow shows us, eligibility does not mean availability. And for those who most need a critical second dose of protection, that has led to a now familiar scramble.
Here we go again.
I've been here since like 11 and it's like 2 and I'm still here and the line is pretty long, so yeah, I think it's hard to get a second dose.
Lines at pop-up clinics in communities hit hard by COVID stretching for blocks. The scramble for second doses in Ontario's hotspots reminiscent of the struggles the first time around.
Having thousands of people in line is not an accident. This is poor planning.
But many here, so frustrated by the province's online booking system, say these lines are a better alternative.
I tried to book my second dose, and the earliest appointments available are starting early October.
One dose is less effective against the aggressive Delta variant. With its spreading, Ontario expanded second dose eligibility in hotspots on Monday. But unlike before, the province has not diverted extra shots to those areas. In Peel, more than 600,000 people are eligible for a second dose, but the region only has enough for 100,000, says Dr. Lawrence Lowe.
We have to still be quite cautious because we have high first dose coverage, low second dose coverage, and we do have the Delta variant, which could be a game changer.
And it's a worry for this critical care physician.
I'm not going to say people with one vaccine are going to end up seriously ill from this, but they could certainly get hospitalized from it.
The areas with the lowest second dose coverage are poorer, home to more essential workers and more people of color, already disproportionately affected by the pandemic.
The people that are most at risk of getting the virus, who are most at risk at spreading the virus,
are the ones who are once again not getting the protections that they need.
This freelance journalist lives in Peel. The closest appointment she can find, 40 minutes away.
We're seeing a repeat of a very inaccessible, very inequitable vaccine rollout.
And so, Ellen, according to the people you've been speaking with, what should Ontario actually be doing?
Well, Adrian, many of them are calling for the province to do what it eventually did with first doses, divert larger percentages of shots to those hardest hit areas. They're also saying there needs to be more direct outreach and more targeted vaccine clinics in those areas, because the idea that someone can refresh a web page over and over to book an appointment at a mass vaccination site like the one behind me, or call around to pharmacies or stand in line for hours is simply not feasible for so many people.
All right, Ellen Morrow in Toronto tonight. Thank you, Ellen. We have an update now on the outbreak of the Delta variant at the Foothills Medical Centre in Calgary. 2 patients who contracted the disease have died. Alberta Health Services tells CBC News 1 patient was fully vaccinated. The other had not received either dose. We don't know the ages of the patients who died. 21 patients in 2 units and 9 healthcare workers at the facility tested positive in the outbreak. The majority just experienced mild symptoms. And another update now, this one on that couple who made national news when they snuck into Yukon to get vaccinated in January. Rod and Ekaterina Baker pleaded guilty today to charges under Yukon's Civil Emergency Measures Act. They posed as local motel workers. The pair was fined $2,300. If you have been experiencing, sticker shock lately at the grocery store or maybe at the gas pump, you're not alone. Statistics Canada says the cost of just about everything is going up at levels not seen in a decade. Peter Armstrong explains how it's all, of course, linked to the pandemic.
No, it's not your imagination. Prices are up, way up. Used cars are now selling for about the same price as a new car.
So this typical car would be, I think you're looking at $2,000 more.
And it's not just cars, lumber, groceries, gas prices.
It's hard for everybody, really hard, man. It's a struggle, definitely.
Yeah, I feel for people that are just getting by week to week.
And don't even get prospective home buyers started on the price of real estate.
I've never seen these kinds of prices for houses in my area that I've lived and grew up in.
So what's really going on here? The past year has been spectacularly weird, and that weirdness has all kinds of knock-on effects in the economy.
When you try to restart the global economy all at once, and you're coming off a period where production of so many goods was hampered by plants or mines closing due to COVID, you're going to find that the gears of the global economy have a tough time working well.
Yes, prices are up significantly, but they're up from rock bottom levels at the worst point of the pandemic. In fact, if you take out gasoline, compared to pre-pandemic, inflation isn't looking so hot.
Prices are up around 1.5% annualized over the last 2 years. So if anything, inflation's been a little cool over the 2-year period.
That said, even if this rise in prices is temporary, the cost of living for just about everything is higher now than it was. Millions of Canadians struggled mightily over the last year, and their wages didn't get that temporary burst. For them, these numbers mean a very tough year just got even harder. Peter Armstrong, CBC News, Toronto.
Much of the world's attention was on Geneva today for U.S. President Joe Biden's much-anticipated meeting with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, a cautious first step towards a diplomatic reset after years of acrimony and accusations. But as Susan Ormison explains, smiles and handshakes do not equal trust.
Both presidents wanted this summit, which went a long ways toward chipping away at toxic relations. An historic handshake, brief smiles, set the mood early.
The tone of the entire meetings, I guess it was a total of 4 hours, was good.
Biden and Putin each called the diplomatic work here pragmatic, constructive, and free of rancor, not insignificant.
I think there was no hostility, quite the contrary.
We don't share the same positions in many areas, but I think that both of these sides showed a willingness to understand one another.
Moscow and Washington cracked open their diplomatic standoff, ambassadors returning to their posts. They'll start talks on new arms control treaties and a framework to beat back cyber hacking.
If in fact they violate these basic norms, we will respond.
But on the red line issues like Ukraine, human rights, Russia's crackdown on dissidents, Putin conceded nothing, saying instead the jailed Alexei Navalny got what he wanted.
This person knew that he was breaching the laws effective in Russia.
The Geneva optics were a risk for Joe Biden, giving the Russian leader a high profile. But Biden calculated it could return dividends.
The last thing he wants now is a Cold War.
Saying they'd take stock in 6 months.
He still is concerned that we, in fact, are looking to take him down. Thank you.
But as the leaders departed, the dissection begins, asking what, if anything, changed on the shores of Lake Geneva.
I think that Putin does not want to have another escalation with the West, not only because it is expensive, but also because the Russian public doesn't want it.
Intentions are fragile, and what Biden seeks, stable, predictable relationship with Russia, that's far from assured.
So, Susan, both leaders clearly being really careful with their words today. And I'm curious, what did you see or hear that speaks to whether there's even a modicum of trust between them at this point?
No, trust is way too big a leap for either of them at this point. Biden backed way off that, saying, let's verify what the Russian president will do, given an opening to improve relations. And for Putin, well, he's often used the U.S. as an enemy for domestic consumption, so that's not his default either. Today could bring about better relations, but it depends on what happens in Moscow and Washington, and none of that is right now built on any newfound trust today, Adrian.
And so it goes. Susan, thank you. Susan Ormiston in Geneva tonight. In another international meeting of sorts, glory today for rising Canadian tennis star Felix Auger-Aliassime, who didn't just get to square off against an idol, but he defeated him. Here's Alison Northcott.
Playing against his personal hero for the first time, Felix Auger-Aliassime delivered an impressive win in the second round of the Noventi Open in Germany.
Against his great idol.
But while he says he wanted to win, he didn't expect to beat the tennis legend he's admired since he was a child.
Roger was my idol, like many of us growing up. So first of all, it was a huge honor to play him before he retired, and to beat him is something amazing that I have with me now. I'm going to cherish that.
The 20-year-old Montrealer has trained with Federer before, and the two even share a birthday, August 8th, 19 years apart.
It's a bit up and down, but that's, I guess, part of the comeback.
It was a tough loss for Federer, who has won this competition 10 times before. He had just recently returned to competition after 2 knee surgeries, but just last week pulled out of the French Open mid-tournament. Still, he had nothing but praise for his opponent.
Felix played a great match. He stayed mentally very solid. He showed that he wanted to win, and he was better at the end.
He wasn't facing 26-year-old Roger Federer. He was facing almost 40 Roger Federer after 2 knee surgeries.
This tennis journalist says that while Federer's condition may have been a factor, Auger-Aliassime played a great game.
Once he was able to get the second set, his opponent kind of fell away and he just got better and better.
But the tournament's not over yet, so Auger-Aliassime needs to keep up his performance as he aims for his first singles title.
It's probably the best win of his career now. It's going to give him a boost of confidence.
And it's a win he won't forget.
It means a lot. It's a great victory that I'm going to keep, in my pocket all my life.
The next tournament on the horizon for Auger-Aliassime is Wimbledon at the end of this month, where he could end up facing Federer again. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
It's an all too common trope, a Muslim actor playing a terrorist, and some say that has consequences.
People don't just wake up hating Muslims, they believe a story.
Coming up, finding representation in film and how some Canadian actors are changing the landscape. Plus, 16 months into the pandemic, the growing consensus over how coronavirus is transmitted.
People being confined to their cabins were getting infected. That should have told us it was aerosol.
Some scientists say a prolonged debate has put lives at risk. And a moment to celebrate. A Toronto hospital hits a COVID milestone that is worth a cheer. We're back in 2. Welcome back. We want to return to our top story. Green Party leader Annamie Paul is fighting to keep that role and shooting back at critics with accusations of racism and sexism. Critics in her own party say Paul is, quote, autocratic and hostile, allegations contained in a letter leaked to the media. So far, she has put off a potential vote of no confidence. I spoke with her earlier. Here's some of our conversation. So thank you very much for joining us. Lots of questions here. You said earlier today that there were allegations made by members of the party's federal council that were sexist and were racist in nature. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, it's very unfortunate that this document has leaked, particularly because the allegations in the document itself was immediately disavowed by our 2 MPs who called it offensive and inflammatory and a violation of the code of ethics of our federal council, and also because the majority of the members of the council also immediately disassociated themselves with it. So I won't enter into the details. It was intended to be a confidential document, only available to the councillors. What I will say, though, is that I agree with our MPs and with the members of our council who were in the majority who said that it was a very offensive and inflammatory document that played into many tropes that exist about people with the identities that I have.
So I certainly appreciate that. It puts us in a slightly awkward position in that much of the letter is out there. You know, it was leaked to CBC as well. We've obtained it. And among the things the letter sort of specifically says is that you're not collaborative. I'm quoting from it. You don't engage in respectful discussions. You display anger in long, repetitive, aggressive monologues. And to your last point, you hear those words and that phrasing and you think what?
Well, the trope about women like me is that we're angry. The angry Black woman trope is the oldest one on the books for Black women. That we act when we speak with conviction, that we're aggressive, that when we are not happy, we always have to be very angry, and that when we seek to lead, we are acting outside of our place. We are acting in a superior way. And so, you know, again, these are the oldest tropes in the book. So when I hear that language, that's what occurs to me, and that's obviously what occurred to our councillors who disassociated themselves, and also our MPs who swiftly condemned the letter.
And the fate of those who appear to be out of step with that, what happens to them?
Well, all of those who signed the letter, in fact, were coming right toward the end of their term. So in the next couple of months, in the next number of weeks, we're going to have a significant new group of councillors in. I'm really excited to work with them on this agenda of diversity and inclusion, which we're doing so much good work on.
And listening to you today, because you had so much to say, but in the context of your MP crossing the floor to Liberals, you said to the Prime Minister, you are no ally, you are no feminist. But listening to that, isn't crossing the floor just politics?
It's not just a question of crossing the floor. It was intended to cause chaos and to cause disarray in our party. And Prime Minister Trudeau, congratulations on that. The question now is how quickly do we come back together and unify now that we know that this was the objective? We have been surging in areas of the country that the Liberal Party absolutely needs to win if they're going to get that majority. And so despite his words about being an ally, he chose to undermine my leadership by playing into the conflict, well, not the conflict, but let's say the sensitivities around Israel and Palestine. He chose to sow division about my leadership, and he did it without a second thought.
Your party is relatively flat in the polls compared to 2019. You didn't win your by-election for a seat last year. You just lost an MP. So what are Canadians to make not just of your party, but in this moment of your leadership?
Well, you have to look beneath the surface of the aggregate numbers. And this is exactly what the Liberals did, and this is exactly why they came after us. We have, in our internal polling, we have quadrupled and in some cases quintupled our voter share in key markets that the Liberals have to win.
All right, Annamie Paul, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
There is growing evidence that COVID spreads through air, but it's been hotly debated.
Whenever somebody raised the precautionary approach, they said, no, the evidence is not there.
We dive into the science and the response next. Welcome back. The pandemic has dragged on for so long, it's a bit hard to remember how new the coronavirus really is. Even how it spreads has been a matter of scientific debate. But for some time, the growing consensus has been that it is fully airborne. Policy is still catching up to that science. And Ioana Roumeliotis spoke with some who think the delay has put lives at risk.
By now, we know the drill. Wear a mask, stay apart. But a bigger risk and reality was always there, even if the warnings weren't, that COVID is in the air.
And it's a tragedy that our infectious disease experts were following old science.
This story starts by going back to the SARS outbreak of 2003. Outside of Asia, Toronto was alone in fighting off a new deadly virus. The largest single group infected were healthcare workers. Mario Posamai was a senior advisor to the Ontario SARS Commission, set up to identify lessons learned. Its main recommendation: next time, play it super safe.
So the precautionary principle was made for COVID-19. When the science is mixed, you err on the side of caution. You protect people. You wait until the science is more solid to decide whether you can lower precautions. And we didn't do that.
Didn't do what China and other Asian countries would, treat COVID-19 as if it could spread in the air. That meant taking precautions against aerosols, tiny particles expelled when a person is simply talking that can travel in a cloud indoors and remain in the air indefinitely. Early on, China enforced strict airborne protocols, and healthcare workers donned full personal protective equipment, or PPE, including N95 masks that, unlike surgical masks, seal airways and block out most airborne particles.
We'd like people to limit their contact with people within 6 feet.
2 months later, in Ontario, a more traditional approach. Precautions here were based on a conventional model of how a virus spreads, mainly through large droplets within a range of 2 meters. The aerosol risk was recognized only during certain medical procedures. A different trajectory would emerge. In countries like China, infections among healthcare workers dropped dramatically. Here, they started to soar. In long-term care settings especially. Among those early devastating infections, a third were among healthcare workers, often equipped with little or no PPE.
Even the masks were locked somewhere. We did not have any access to the mask.
More than a year after she got sick with COVID, Rubina Khan still has trouble walking. Khan works as a nurse in a long-term care home. She was on a ventilator for 3 weeks and barely survived.
And afterward, my hair keeps falling. Whenever after shower, they try to comb my hair. There was big bunch coming out.
How do you think you got COVID?
Working with the patients.
But were they coughing on you or sneezing on you?
I did not hear anybody coughing. But now they are even saying, it's not just the droplet, it's the airborne.
Infections among healthcare workers kept skyrocketing.
One of the most difficult things.
Vicky McKenna is the provincial president of the Ontario Nurses Association. After filing multiple grievances, the ONA took the province to court to get more PPE.
They were told that, don't worry, you're fine. a surgical mask is good enough. And we were saying, no, that's not enough. We know it's in the air and that we need to err on the side of caution. They need to have the proper respiratory protection. How can it be that we have to go to court in order to do that?
As a result of that ruling, healthcare workers could ask for N95 masks if they wanted one. But unions say they kept being told they didn't need them.
I'm relying on our chief medical officer and the health table to give me that advice.
Meantime, the Ontario government insisted it was listening to the experts.
I feel like I've learned a tremendous amount over the course of this pandemic, and it's been humbling.
David Fissman is an epidemiologist and infectious disease expert with the University of Toronto's Dalla Lana School of Public Health. At first, he believed the droplet theory too.
This is a disease that's mostly spreading at short range, spreading via large respiratory droplets that don't travel very far, that masks aren't going to make a huge difference because nobody's going to be inhaling this virus, and that you're at very little risk of being infected by people who don't have symptoms.
But as Fissman studied early outbreaks on cruise ships, something didn't add up.
People being confined to their cabins were getting infected, even though they weren't in contact with anyone else who was known to be infected. So they were connected to each other by a ventilation system. That should have told us it was aerosol. And then what's emerged over the subsequent, nearly a year, has only sort of supported that model.
The warnings got louder. In July 2020, an open letter by 239 scientists, a global appeal to recognize the risk of airborne transmission. That same month, the World Health Organization did. But in a counter letter, infectious disease experts, among them advisors to the Ontario government, cited evidence the airborne risk may be overestimated.
There was more and more evidence of airborne transmission. And our infectious disease and public health experts, they wanted certainty. And whenever somebody raised a precautionary approach, they said, no, the evidence is not there.
If the precautionary principle is basically err on the side of caution, why not just invoke it?
There might be a bit of a higher cost. The only downside is that to make that decision to go that route would mean admitting that your medical orthodoxy is wrong.
The higher cost would involve rethinking transmission protocols in all indoor workplace settings. That didn't happen. A year into the pandemic, more contagious variants circulated, and essential workers were hit hard. New infections were in the thousands for weeks.
Going into grocery stores and seeing staff protected with plexiglass and surgical masks when this is an airborne disease. Reading about workers at Amazon warehouses and factories and meatpacking plants who are not being properly protected.
What do you think would have changed?
Well, we would have increased emphasis on ventilation, air purification in our long-term care facilities, in our warehouses and meatpacking plants, and in our hospitals. We would have advocated that high-risk workers wear N95 respirators. And we would have really focused on making sure that they were protected at a higher level.
Only recently did federal and Ontario public health officials explicitly recognize COVID spreads in the air. No public announcements were made. We asked Ontario for an interview, but the province declined our request, saying it couldn't comment because a legal challenge against it was still before the courts, by nurses arguing Ontario failed its public health duties.
We have to do everything we can so down the road, people will be protected and we will not suffer the same kind of infections and deaths in many cases that we've seen in this province.
I do feel angry, I do feel sad, but at the end, I am thankful to God that He gave me the second life.
How was your day at work?
It's fine.
Khan recently went back to work. There's plenty of PPE now, she says, including N95 masks.
I know they have everything available now, but it was supposed to be in the beginning.
We're 8,000 deaths in Ontario alone. What fraction of those deaths could we have prevented with good science? I think you're talking about thousands of people still being around who are not around now.
Posamai is calling for a national inquiry.
we're going to have other major public health crises. And we have to be ready for it. And we can't make these same mistakes another time.
History, it may already be fading, but there is still a race between vaccines and variants, and there will be a next time. Joanna Rimiliotis, CBC News, Toronto.
A recent survey shows kids are dealing with homophobic incidents on a regular basis.
That hate is alive in our city, that discrimination is alive.
Coming up, standing against a rising tide of hate, particularly during Pride Month. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, you might be seeing more rainbows during this Pride Month. There remains a not-so-quiet undercurrent of hate against the LGBTQ community. Magda Gebrselassie reveals a string of incidents across the country and speaks to those standing against it.
Showing true colors of support. On Saturday, Joni Johnson went shopping for a pride flag, a sign of love for her 23-year-old daughter who recently came out.
I placed it in the garden and I took a picture and I sent it to my daughter and I was all excited. I'm like, this is for you, baby girl.
But hours later, it was gone. She bought more. Tuesday morning, she woke up to this.
I noticed the flags were gone and then I noticed they were burnt.
It's one of many anti-LGBTQ incidents emerging across the country. Police in Ontario are investigating this video showing a pride flag being burned, allegedly by high school students. White paint weaponized in Vancouver, destroying this rainbow-colored church display. And in Toronto, a 24-year-old man heading home from a queer-friendly spot attacked. Police investigating it as hate-motivated.
It just amplifies that hate is alive in our city.
Justin Kahn says hate crimes against the community are on the rise. Police stats from 2019 show they went up by 41% compared to the year before. As for how to end this,
I think it starts just in the everyday discourse of conversations. There are jokes being made, there are slurs being said. Those small conversations, it's a snowball effect.
Right now, about 1 million Canadians identify as being part of the LGBTQ2+ community. And despite generational change and acceptance,
there's still a problem in schools with homophobia, biphobia, and transphobia.
A survey of schools across Canada reports that nearly 2/3 of high school students hear homophobic comments weekly.
But we're still seeing that 2S LGBTQ students are reporting much higher levels of harassment in schools, feeling less safe in schools.
In Edmonton, Johnson will keep the flags coming, flying hope in the face of any hate. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News, Toronto.
It has been 40 years since the world became aware of another virus that caused a worldwide panic, HIV, the cause of AIDS, and until now, hope for a vaccine has been dim. Christine Birak shows us how the technology used to beat COVID could offer new hope.
With COVID cases dropping, mRNA technology is setting its sights on a new complex target. Moderna is taking aim at human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV.
I think it would change history to have a highly effective HIV vaccine.
Sean Hossain's been tracking the science behind HIV for decades. Since its discovery in the 1980s, AIDS has caused 35 million deaths worldwide. There's no cure or protective vaccine, and HIV is still spreading. In 2019, it's estimated 1.7 million people were infected. Moderna plans to begin 2 vaccine trials this year, but Hossain notes HIV is much trickier than the coronavirus.
Traditionally, candidate vaccines for HIV have used a tiny piece of the virus or the whole virus that's been killed. Unfortunately, these haven't worked.
Instead of using the virus, mRNA vaccines provide genetic instructions. For COVID, they build the virus's outer spikes, which allows our immune system to develop antibody defenses that can recognize the coronavirus, stick to the spikes, and block it from entering our cells.
With HIV, there's a variant a day. And so it's hard to design one vaccine against 10,000 different variations of the virus.
which means HIV is mutating so quickly, it's hard to show the immune system what to look for. A successful vaccine would need to prompt a broad range of antibodies that stick to multiple parts of the virus that causes AIDS.
There is a chance on paper you could develop a so-called universal vaccine that would recognize maybe not all, but a lot of strains of HIV.
The nature of HIV virus itself makes it very extremely difficult to cure it.
Chris Turiam contracted HIV 20 years ago. He's gone from 12 treatments a day with devastating side effects down to 1. But globally, many can't afford those drugs. Turiam says stopping HIV before infection is key.
If they will get a vaccine that would prevent it altogether, that would be it.
Trial results are years away, but if mRNA vaccines can conquer HIV, they jump the highest vaccine hurdle and offer strong promise for other diseases. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
Muslim actors are speaking out about being typecast in problematic, stereotypical roles.
Suicide bomber number 3.
The impact and how some actors and writers are working to change it. Next. Welcome back. Despite being almost a quarter of the world's population, Muslims account for a tiny fraction of Hollywood roles, and many of those are negative stereotypes. Here's Eli Glasner on a growing push to change the narrative.
Welcome to the land where the waters try to drown us.
Toronto's Ali Momin is many things: an actor, a podcaster,
a healthcare system underfunded,
even an aspiring politician. But he'll never forget how Hollywood first cast him.
Suicide bomber number 3. In the movie Traitor with Don Cheadle.
He was trained to kill.
Eager for acting credits, Momin accepted.
In hindsight, I deeply regret it. I wish I never said yes. But if I'm to be honest, we use the word systemic all the time. I was a part of a system.
As his career continued, so did the offers. Terrorists, nefarious bad guys, generic Arab speakers, even though he's a non-Arab from Iran.
It otherizes you. And even when there is a Muslim representation that isn't terrorist-like or nefarious, it's exoticized.
A recent study confirms how Hollywood overlooks and ignores the Muslim community. Of the top 100 films in the U.S. from 2017 to 2019, only 1.1% of the speaking roles were Muslim. Then there's the issue of violence.
Specifically, about 40% of Muslim characters were shown as perpetrators of violence, and more than half of Muslim characters were shown as targets of violence. We also saw that 19% of Muslim characters in our sample also died by the end of the film.
Oscar-winning actor Riz Ahmed is part of a group that commissioned this study. He sees a connection between what happened in London, Ontario, and what we see on our screens.
People don't just wake up hating Muslims. They believe a story that we have to look at ourselves and ask whether we are complicit in perpetuating.
To combat that, Ahmed's partners are launching new guides and grants to support Muslim-centered stories.
I got fired.
Like the comedy series Dirty Love. Ottawa's Mesa Houri was tired of playing terrorist wives and refugees, so she created a show with a contemporary view of Muslim life.
I just wanted to be who I am, and I want to be able to show that on screen as well. We all have a story.
Using stories to push back against the stereotypes. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
Next on The National, a great day at one Toronto hospital.
Today we are COVID-free.
Finding light at the end of this long tunnel in Armand. These medical staffers in Toronto have a very good reason to be cheering. After a long, tiring 15 months, they can finally say today their ICU is COVID-free. That moment is ours tonight.
And today we are COVID-free.
Today I'm emotional that it's been 15 months and today is the first day COVID-free. It's this group here that we should be celebrating. It has been a really tiring and trying time, I think, for the whole healthcare team.
So we can't drink champagne, but we did go down and buy booster juice for everyone. Walk through and pick up your booster juice.
They really got to know the patients. I think that was very difficult for them.
Strawberry, banana, something.
You're trying to be not just be their healthcare provider, you become their family because their family isn't able to come in. We can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's exactly what I...
So it looks like you're going to see more moments like that. In fact, just yesterday, Toronto Western Hospital decided it was time to close its COVID unit, and that is good news. That's The National for June 16th.